Okay guys, so this is the continuation of my tutorials, well not tutorial, explanation how to use my system in a big picture, right? So in the previous video I talked about MA55. So I said we have to wait for confirmation, we have to wait for all indicators, right? So in this case, or indicator or secondary indicator, well it's not secondary actually, it's part of the system, is the curve indicator. So we are going to use here Coppock curve. Let me show you here. I'm going to add here. You can use the free version, of course, you want. And we have Coppock curve. In this case, for example, yeah, the rule is, well, the rule is testing the 55, right? And after that, continuation to the upside. As you can see here, in this case, technically speaking, Bitcoin broke the MA55, but there are many times actually you will see some accumulation here, and after that, a continuation to the upside. Market makers, they love this. They love to do these kind of things. Why? Because, well, you know, this is a business. So they know traders like you, like me, always we follow this kind of moving average, MA100, MA55, MA21, whatever. Usually they like to just break, in this case, to the downside, the MA55, killing some longs, taking some profits, right? And after that, it's gonna just accumulate here for a little bit, and after a continuation to the upside. In this case, we don't have confirmation to buy, but it's looking like in one day chart we are gonna have a buy signal soon. Now, let me explain how to use curve in a very, very simple way. When you have here the darker purple here, technically speaking, you have sideways. This is telling you the price is not gonna crash anymore, and or bounce. Yeah. So there are two possibilities: sideways or bounce. If you see the darker blue, in this case, is gonna tell you, well, sideways, right? The price is gonna be like this, and downside. So there are two possibilities: sideways or downside. This is telling you the price is will not keep pumping, just is gonna be sideways or lazy, right? And potentially a drop. So in this case, as you can see here, we have this bounce signal, and the target usually most of the time is going to be the MA55, right? In this case, this is just going to be a bounce to test the MA55, as you can see here. So from this point, right, the buy signal here, testing the MA55 here, and that's it. The trade is done. No more than that in one day chart, of course. Now we have here sell signal here. This is telling me sideways or downside, right? In this case was sideways, as you can see here. When you see another buy signal, in this case very small, right? Testing the MA55, remember, continuation to the upside, yeah? And after that we have again sell signal here, and after that we have a test to the MA55, you see? So in this case it's telling me as long as we have this darker blue, the price is will not pump anymore. I mean, new highs in this case. So as you can see here, we have sideways, all these, right? And after we have another buy signal here, and from this point and this point, we have a new high here. And what is this? Bearish divergence. Well, it's a little bit complex, but if you have experience with bearish divergence, we have from this point and this point, as you can see here, new high, and after that continuation to the downside, where target is going to be the MA55. And as you can see here, Bitcoin is just holding the MA55 here for a long time, and we have, technically speaking, no shorts. Why? Because curve is telling me is very dangerous, because we are looking for bounces, right? So as long as it's holding the MA55 here, in some point there is a very good chance we will see a bounce, as long as it's holding the MA55, right? Same principle here. We have a sell signal here, and the prediction is going to be what? Sideways and downside. So sideways, as you can see here, sideways. In this case we was a little bit more late, and after that downside. Now what we can say here, is going to break down? Maybe yes, but the momentum here, the sell pressure is almost over, as you can see here. So I can tell you right now, based on my system, right, there is a very good chance this is going to be a bull trap. At least just attest to the MI55 here, a little bit higher maybe or something like this, and that's it. So if we play here the video, or sorry, the chart, you see it's testing the MI55, buy signal here. Usually, in my experience, not always, right? Manage your risk management is very important, is gonna break to the upside. Let's see. So as you can see here, the time almost 1 week, right, passed here, and we have this bounce. It's about the MI55? Yes, it's about the MI55. Is breaking the MI55? No, it's not breaking the MI55 because its move is not strong. And as you can see here, one thing is very important with curve is the momentum. Yeah, let me explain this because this is very, very, very important. From this point, when you have the buy signal here to the sell line here, is the time the asset has to what? To pump, right? It could be in sideways, right? Or it could be just pump like this, okay? When you see the sell line here, testing here from curve, this is telling you, it's not a rule, because sometimes in the last moment, the asset just pumps very hard. Sometimes, seriously, I got to stop it sometimes, many times in my life. But the thing here is like, this in general here, based on probabilities, right, is a sign like maybe the asset is not very healthy. It's not very healthy, and you will see a sell signal here very soon, and this is gonna break down. Let's see what is gonna happen. Let's see. Okay, as you can see here, we have this sell signal here, we have sell signal here, and what happened with the price? It's in sideways. In this case, Bitcoin, instead of breaking down, is in sideways again. Now the moving average is flat. We apply this rule. When the moving average is flat, this is telling you what? Volatility is contracting here, and you can expect a break. A break to where? In this case, it depends on the indicator. In this case, maybe to the upside. Let me show you here 1 second what happened with my indicator. Let me add again the indicator, because sometimes TradingView is not very good. As you can see here, this is like this. This is like this. The direction is like this. Simple. And the reason is simple is because now we have from darker blue to this point, Bitcoin didn't crash. Actually, it's still there holding the MI55, right? So in this buy signal here, I am looking for a continuation, at least maybe to $11,000 or $12,000. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see if I am right with this. Yes, I was right. As you can see here, $11,700. Very good. So as you can see here, curve is very, very important now. Like many indicators, curve is not perfect, right? We have many fake signals, believe me. Now that's why actually I was using before I was using sorry, let me add this first. Okay, here momentum. Okay, I was using before a squeeze momentum indicator, but now is actually the win rate is very bad. So 1 second. Okay, so as you can see here, curve, this buy signal was amazing, as you can see here, and well, you can apply the same thing. So here, for example, when you have in other examples, right, when the price is testing the MI55 here, technically speaking, you don't have a buy signal. Why? Because you have to wait for the buy signal here. You see here, it's testing the MI55, buy signal here, and here is when you buy, not here. Here is just testing the MI55. You have to wait to see if Bitcoin, in this case, is going to break or not. You have to see some consolidation. You want some consolidation first, and after that, you can do it. Now, let's do it with the current price action of Bitcoin right now. In this case, 2023. Let me show you here what happened. In this case, Bitcoin here. In 2017, here, well, in macro time frames, we had a bullish divergence in weekly chart. I bought actually Bitcoin in spot around 17K 600, something like that, in a spot looking for a macro move. In my case, I closed my position around $27,000. That's it. Fair enough. Right. Very good. So the thing here is like, if you see in 1 day chart, what happened? Well, we have here Bitcoin with this signal here, got rejected. Remember, you know, this is the classic setup, right? Bouncing here, looking for the MA55, and after that, drop. But the correction, the direction is going to be like this, right? I'm not saying new lows, right? Technically speaking, using just the rule of MA55, yes, but we have to see the price. When you see this drop here, what happened? Seller line was testing here, same principle, right? And it's not dropping, it's not making new lows. So this is telling you, when you are in sideways here, in the next buy signal, there is a very good chance this thing is gonna break up. So as you can see here, in the next buy signal here, what happened? After we have massive pump to $23,000. Now we have here, sell signal here is telling me what? Sideways or downside, right? Sideways or downside, yeah? So what happened after that? After the signal, 10 days sideways, and after that downside, perfect. Very close to the MA55, another buy signal here, another bounce here again, and same thing. Here we have sideways or downside. Around 1 week in sideways here, as you can see here, 5 days, and after that we have plus a better variance, as you can see here, this point and this point, and after that breaking down. And this is very tricky, right? Because you see, technically speaking, Bitcoin broke the MA55, right? But in this case, we have the buy signal here, and Bitcoin very good, actually very good, just recover, and not just recover, broke the MA55, and after that we have Bitcoin didn't stop until we saw 30K. Now we can say, okay, now what we are right now? Well, technically speaking, Bitcoin is testing the MA55 here, yeah, is testing the MA55 here, as you can see here, and we have this buy signal here, right, from here. Now, what is the problem with this setup? It's very simple, following the rules I explained to you, yeah. Bitcoin had all this time from July 30 to almost 10 days. My projection is almost 10 days to test the seller line. And the question is Bitcoin pumping? Is Bitcoin really breaking the MA55? No, right? Because when you see Bitcoin breaking the MA55, it's like this, right? Massive, very strong, very powerful, right? But in this case, it's not. So what is this telling me? It's very simple. Bitcoin is lazy. Technically speaking, it's in sideways here. It's not pumping, it's just sideways. So the projection in maybe in a few days is going to be something like this, right? We are going to see potential sell signal here, and you will see confirmation. How? If Bitcoin breaks again 29,300, where is the MA55, and because it's flat, potentially we can see a red candle doing something like this, okay? So that is the projection. Of course, we have to wait, but that is the thing. When you understand my system trading, you will realize about something. You have to read price action, and you have to read time. Time is extremely important, because you don't fix this problem about timing, you will have a big issue, because there are many traders, they are trading 1 hour chart and they are holding that position for maybe 3 days. And actually, how many signals you will get in 1 hour chart? Maybe 5, 6, 7. It depends, right? So I can tell you right now, in another video, I'm going to talk about time, but not in this video. This video is about curve. So curve is the second component of my system of trading. So, well, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.